have a different sense of themselves depending on how they're being controlled in those areas, right?
Because when you live in an all-black area, unlike New York, see, I came from the South. I was in Money, Mississippi the week after Emmett Till was killed, right? I went to Southern University in Louisiana. So I know that area intimately. I married a woman that was married since we were 18. First time I saw her, I married her. You know? So all the southern states I've been in. So black folks lived a hell of a party life, man. We had our own institutions. I don't care what they look like. The object was to have fun. That's all you can have in New York. And the places that they used to, we had a place called Frenchtown in Tallahassee, where the principal used to threaten everybody with ending up if you didn't finish school. And we had the best teachers in the world. When I was taking those 5 and 6 hour administrative tests, it was my high school teacher whose rules and everything for writing and doing stuck out. I never had a white teacher until I came and went to Pratt. All my teachers were black through my undergraduate, high school, elementary school, and neighbors. And everybody knew everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And they looked out for your back. You didn't like it, but they
now, this civil rights movement that swept through this country, right? Do you see that as
pivotal?
Well, see, here's how I see it in historical hindsight, right? Because prior to the civil rights movement, we had black-owned establishments, black-controlled areas, and black people did well because black people patronized black businesses, right? But after this civil rights bamboozlement, right? I see that the only place that got integrated was the black communities. You see all kind of businesses in the black areas, but you don't see that anywhere else.
But you have to understand the hype. When Martin Luther King was trying to talk to black folks, half of them wouldn't listen. You think all the black preachers will get him? Shit. A black preacher is like they still got that old slavery mentality. The most segregated thing, and they only get together now because you get a 501c3 and everybody can live that aristocratic life, you know, that are preachers. You got people coming in their houses and cleaning up and stuff, and you know, they quit their jobs, and they're buying these huge mega churches, so they're no longer community preachers now. They want to be mega preachers so that they can appeal to everybody to make all this money. But all that is a new slave owner. Because they just making the people poor. They don't protest in Louisiana because every service station has a casino. So you go to church, you go to work, you get your check, you go to the casino, you're broke again. You understand what I'm saying? That's happening every place. So when you go and you spend all your money with other people, like I'm 78 years old. I've only owned 2 cars in my life. All right, because I always try to be in an area where it's public transportation. You know, so you have to think. Everybody has to think, not just me and you. And we get into these personality things because you like somebody, you go follow them. Be your own. Follow somebody that's thinking, but know what they're thinking, and don't get into it because you like that person. You know, if you're on the same
wavelength
track, you know, you got to go the same way. You know, so the reason people always ask me, why did we lose the power? Because everybody wants to be a chief. In Greece, every little village wanted to have its own king, and it did. And they would go vacillate between my cousin and my brother. Sometimes you have to kill your brother. And then we got into that. So after a few generations of that, you don't care about any of your people. You know, and that's how we lost the power. We in the South, we spoke to everybody because I got your back. We knew who the enemy was. You understand what I'm saying? I could get 100 people like that. And I'm one of them kids that you know, was in reform school and everything. But once I understood how a city was organized by being there, because we did everything, then I realized it is thought. And I got a painting that's coming up now What is the universal symbol for thought? What could be used as the universal symbol of thought? The think.
Well, you could use a question mark, or you could use a brain.
No.
What?
Where'd you come from? You came out of a womb that conceived you, nurtured you, and gave birth to you.
Okay.
The Ankh.
Okay.
The Ankh. You got it on, my
As
brother.
a symbol, as a symbol of thought.
This is the symbol of thought.
Okay.
All right? Because everybody comes from a woman. You got guys that think they can produce children.
Okay.
Everybody comes from a woman. So you got the womb as the circular part, the two fallopian tubes, and the vaginal cavity. That's the universal symbol. And in Egypt, or in Kemet, that was life. It symbolized life, and it actually took on the word life. And anytime I run into people who came from that area, the women see me wearing mine, and they always laugh and rub their stomachs, you know. So everybody knows that, but we don't think anymore. It's like we on cell phones where they teach you to speak in a few words and syllables. You forget how to communicate with people. And white folks have to, because they suffer from such depression, got to use these dogs. They recommend that they use animals. And many times they love the animals more than they love the children. So I'm giving you all this stuff, my brother.
So white people love dogs.
They love animals, period. Cats, dogs.
Yeah, all kind of shit.
All
All
kinds
out
of
in the
stuff,
woods,
man.
petting
Yeah.
deers and shit,
Yes, yes. And I just came from Tallahassee, where they have there's a little town, Perry, not too far from Tallahassee, about 60 miles. And they have a billboard there.
So wait a minute. So I don't like being around shit that can't talk, right?
Hey,
Like animals and shit.
I tell people I don't do dog conversations. They want to bring up and want to start conversations. I don't do dog conversations.
If you can't talk,
No.
I don't really want you around, right? Because I know shit thinks, right?
Oh man, listen.
No, I'm saying the shit thinking in its own little dog way, right? But I don't want you around me if you can't talk. But I see that other people and some black people run around with
We like to emulate white folks.
yeah. So
we got-
black people with dogs are copying white people.
Of course. They got
So-
them in the house and let them sleep on the bed, let them lick them in the face.
Oh,
We just
goddamn.
got through picking up dog shit, eating it.
Yeah,
It's like,
sniffing
spit that out,
the
spit
other
that out.
dog
Yeah.
ass, sniffing the other
You see them
dog
on
ass,
television, you know,
and then licking
licking
you in
them
the face.
And I came out the house one night in the middle, because I'm on convent, man. It's all white of me, right? And motherfuckers tongue and sucking the dog's tongue.
Damn.
I mean, you see shit, but
That's Neanderthal.
But that's
Neanderthal.
unconditional love.
Now you trying to tell
He
me
ain't
now?
gonna
Hold up.
divorce you unless you
Hold
don't
up,
feed him.
hold up, Elder. You trying to tell me that there was black people in them caves in Cappadocia?
Yes, my
As
son.
many pictures as I done posted of white people in them caves, you telling me it was black people in them caves?
They were paintings. They were made up of paintings and shit. You ain't got no photographs of nobody unless you get the modern tourists over there who like to go and camp out and shit, you know. It's like white folks would go to Brazil and lay up on the beach at night, think they outside with the natives.
So black
They kill
people,
them,
black people was in them limestone caves in Cappadocia,
like,
in Turkey.
They were in limestone caves in Africa.
Well, I know they was.
You gotta travel.
They
to
chased
see
the
all this stuff.
Dogons ran up in the caves, but they was running from slave traders.
The Dogon came.
They was running from
The
Moors.
Dogon came from Libya and Egypt. They knew all the stuff that, and when you read Herodotus, he tells you, for example, that everybody who was watered, who existed on the waters, the flood waters from the Nile, were considered Egyptians. So you have kings that came from Libya in Kemet, you know. So they came there. People, Egyptians or people in Africa were nomadic. And so sometimes you would have a king or as they started to lose the power because people had found out how to get into Egypt. And the silt, so much of that sand had blown off the Sahara that where they built the Suez Canal, that was quicksand in Herodotus' time.
All right.
And so people would walk out because there was sand on the top, so it looked just like the continuation of the desert. But they'd walk out there and they'd start sinking, and then just disappear. They thought maybe they were going to hit ground, but that was
water under that
Sea.
water under that sand.
That's why you have the Dead Sea up in Israel, because that was a part of that water that used to flow back and forth.
Okay.
So I mean, people just need to know shit, man, so they won't be spreading. Because when you use words create imagery in your head. They don't mean anything by themselves, but when you use them, they create imagery of whatever that person has already grasped of reality. You know, so you got to be careful. That's why I try to learn the names of things, because it was the Kamites or the native Africans that lived along the Nile Valley who said in their creation story, everything, all the stars were here, the land was there, but by observing the stars over eons and keeping a record of it, so they would use the animal skins initially before they discovered papyri, and they would do the little dots for the stars, and then when they could picture, because Africans are good for picturing things out of waves of water, so they would start to see animals in the sky, and they would connect the dot to connect those groups that move together a lot. You know? So they said everything was here, but it was the thinking that told the lips, teeth, and tongue what to announce. That's what we do in school. That's what we teach in school, phonics. How you use symbols to create words that had power. This is why white folks in the 17th century went around the world changing the names on things, because they were creating their own imagery. So when you go back to your own names, you recreate yourself.
Exactly.
In your father's image.
Name's important.
Image.
Name's important.
Yes, yes.
Name's important.
So I'll leave it at that, you know.
It's a good conversation, Elder.
Hey, man, you know.
Elder Ego Hayes family.